Hello, everybody, and welcome to UC San Diego's pre-arrival webinar for international graduate students. This webinar is the third in a series developed especially for incoming international master's or PhD UC San Diego students. Today's topic will focus on graduate student health insurance and immunization requirements. My name is Gabrielle Hoffman, and I'm the Assistant Director for International Student Programs at the International Students and Programs Office. I'm joined by my colleagues, Jill Patiga, Insurance Coordinator with UC San Diego Student Health Services, and Annie Gordon, Nursing Supervisor with UCSD Student Health Services. They're both here to provide detailed and helpful information about graduate student health insurance, as well as required immunization for all new students coming to UC San Diego. We are also joined by Argeria Williams, our Special Projects Coordinator and Intake Advisor, to help answer any questions that might come up related to your visa status along the way. I do just ask that if you have any questions, please hold them until the end of the presentation. We are going to cover a lot of information today, so your question might be answered along the way. We will leave adequate time at the end to go over any questions that you might have. So here's a quick overview of what we'll be discussing today. I will briefly be going over what the International Students and Programs Office, or IFO, is, and how we're here to serve you. Next, we'll review a few important admissions reminders. Then from there, we'll go right into our presentation from Jill, who will provide information about UC Student Health Insurance Plan. And next, we'll have Annie present about required health immunizations. We'll wrap up by going over approaching deadlines and reminders, as well as review our upcoming schedule of pre-arrival webinars. And finally, as I mentioned, we'll leave about 15 minutes at the end for questions and answers. Before we get going, I'll briefly go over the Zoom control panel that you all should have. If you would like to submit a question, you can send it through the Q&A button on your control panel, and it will be sent privately to the presenters and panelists. All of us will stay online for 15 to 20 minutes after the webinar completion to answer questions. If we see certain common questions that come up, we will read these out loud so that everyone can benefit from the answers, but we will not identify anyone who asked a specific question by name. Okay, so now for a little bit of information about the International Students and Programs Office. We are here to assist international students from the very start. We provide pre-arrival information and orientation for new international students, as well as advising services for you and your family throughout the year. You can come to us if you have any questions regarding your international student visa status. In addition, we offer a variety of cross-cultural programs and activities for all students at UCSD. We are located in the center of campus, so we are easy to find. We offer walk-in and scheduled appointments year-round, including the summer, so please provide and meet with us when you arrive. Okay, so before we go into further detail about your next steps related to health insurance and immunizations, I just wanted to briefly go over reminders from graduate admissions before we get going here. For any of you who have not completed any of your admissions requirements, make sure you go into gradapply.ucsd.edu to view your application. If your admission is listed as finalized, Grad Admissions has received all of your required documents. If your admissions is listed as provisionally admitted, please submit these items listed under pending admissions documents as soon as possible. If you have any questions regarding your application or required documents, contact gradadmission@ucsd.edu. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jill, who is going to begin her presentation on student health insurance.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about our Student Health Center on campus, what we offer, and the required insurance that you have to have as a student here on campus when you're enrolled. I come to you from the Student Health Clinic, which is in the center of our campus as well. It's right on our library walk, close to our Geisel Library. We offer full primary care clinic services. That includes physicians, registered nurses, nurse practitioners, skeletal x-rays are available there. We do laboratory services. We have a pharmacy. We offer optometry services for vision exams and glasses and contact lenses. We offer health education through our health promotion department. We have an urgent care available during our office hours. We have insurance available to discuss any bills that you might get or the requirement for the insurance or how to waive that insurance. We have a travel clinic available to students that travel abroad. We have immunizations available through our nurse clinic and through the physicians. We have medical records available on campus so you can retrieve your records if you need to. We have a registered dietitian that can help you with your nutritional needs. And we have a social worker right in our office to assist you with any needs that you might have or want to talk to somebody. We also offer mental health throughout our campus. Our office hours are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Thursdays, we open a little bit late. We open at 9 a.m. and are open until 4 p.m. We are open year-round, so during the summertime and Christmas, when there are breaks, we are there. If we're not there, we have an after-hours advice nurse that can assist you with any needs that you might have. We also open additional hours on Monday and Tuesday. Our urgent care and pharmacy stay open until 6 p.m., and we're open 9 a.m. to 12 on Saturdays. It is subject to change depending on the time of the year, but for fall, winter, and spring, we are open those extended hours. We do appointments by telephone or in person only. There are no online resources to schedule an appointment. And then our after hours nurse line, if you feel sick or you have an urgent situation and you need some direction, you can contact our after hours nurse and she can advise you as to what to do. The cost of the insurance, unfortunately, this slide is incorrect, so I'm sorry about that. If you could please listen. The cost per quarter is, $1,300, so that is correct for the graduate students. $680 for the undergraduate population, so $1,300 for the graduate students, and that is 3 quarters that we charge that fall, winter, and spring for an annualized cost of $3,900. At the end of the year, the IRS in the United States will produce a form called a 1095B that can be claimed if you do have to file taxes in the United States. The spring quarter includes the summertime, so the fall and the winter are about 10 weeks in duration. The spring includes the summer, which is about 6 months, so we don't leave you one day uncovered. You are covered all year round. If you are away from the campus, you just contact us and we'll assist you in getting your care directed. This medical plan is from Anthem Blue Cross. It is a PPO benefit and it includes medical coverage unlimitedly, dental coverage, which is limited. It's $1,000 per year of basic benefits. The pharmacy is unlimited, and we have a vision coverage for an eye exam once a year, and $120 is applied to pay for glasses or contact lenses each school year. We offer worldwide coverage. When you're not in the United States, Anthem Blue Cross converts to a Blue Card program where you can access care that is paid at 60% of billed charges. Your student health clinic here on campus becomes your medical home. That means that the primary care physician directs your care, assists you with any care needs that you have, mentally and physically. We also have counseling and psychological services available on campus. You can just call them and go over to their site and be seen. If you have physical ailment, please come to the student health clinic and we'll assist you there. When you go outside of the student health clinic, that requires a referral from one of the physicians. If you don't get a referral before you go to an appointment outside of the student health clinic, it may not be paid for and you would be financially responsible for those services. So it's important to schedule an appointment with student health when you are on campus so you can establish care with a primary care doctor who can drive your care, and you can contact them as you need to get referrals off campus. Referrals are not required for emergency room, urgent care, dental, and vision, but they are required for any specialty care or hospitalized service. We do not provide retroactive referrals, so if you go outside and you don't have a referral, you will get a bill. And then if you have an emergency, we have 2 hospitals right across our freeway from us where you can access their care. It is a $125 copay to access an emergency room and a $50 copay to access an urgent care facility. We also have one within walking distance of our campus if we're closed. If you are a student coming to the UC system, that is the University of California, we have 7 different campuses here in California. You can access any of those campuses through the student health clinic when you're utilizing our SHIP insurance. That is a reduction opposed to the Anthem Blue Cross PPO network. When you're utilizing a UC provider, it is a $10 copay to see a specialist. If you're utilizing an Anthem Blue Cross PPO network provider, it's a $30 copay to see a specialist. So you can save some money by using the UC family. There are out-of-pocket expenses to this plan. That means that they are not covered at 100%. If you utilize a UC family doctor and you're hospitalized, it's covered at 90% and you're paying 10% of the coinsurance. If you're utilizing a PPO network, it's being paid at 80%. You're paying 20% of those charges. Plus, there's a $500 deductible. So anytime you can use a UC family provider, that's the best and most optimal care for you, as well as the most cost-effective. Instead of mailing out insurance cards, we've gone to a mobile health application. Once you are here on campus and you become a student of ours and you're eligible under the insurance, I would say probably the first week of the quarter, it'd be a good idea to go to your app store on your telephone and access the app Student Health, all one word, and that'll download an electronic insurance card to your phone. It also allows you the ability to watch how claims are adjudicated. To get more information on the benefits of this plan, you can visit our Office of the President website at the ucop.edu website, or go to our Student Health website. There are deadlines there as well that you might want to take a look at. We do give a reduced price for copays for the pharmacy if you are utilizing the student health clinic on campus. If you're coming here to pick up a drug, you may have a $5 copay opposed to going to a retail pharmacy like a CVS or Rite Aid or a grocery store pharmacy. Their copays are $10. You can transfer your prescriptions into UCSD. We just don't have controlled substances or psychotropic drugs in our pharmacy. Other than that, you can easily call your pharmacy or call our pharmacy and they'll help you get those prescriptions transferred into us. The dental coverage is insured by Delta Dental, PPO of California. They offer you $1,000 worth of coverage each school year, and that's for basic benefits like cleaning, x-rays, cavities being filled, root canals, and tooth extraction. You don't need a referral to access care, and all of the dentists, unfortunately, are off campus from us because we don't have a dental school here. So there are many within walking distance, so not much to worry about there. The first visit is free. They'll do an oral examination with cleaning and x-rays, and then you can go from there. The vision coverage is provided through Anthem Blue View Vision. We offer an eye exam right in our clinic. There's a $10 copay associated with that. And then the insurance will provide $120 to pay for a pair of glasses or to buy contact lenses. If you have other insurance and you don't want to pay for our mandatory offering, which every single student is automatically enrolled in, you would have to opt out of our insurance. And you do that by visiting our Triton link through your student account. The waiver tool is found at students.ucsd.edu. It'll say health fee waiver. You click on that hyperlink. It'll take you to a questionnaire where you need to scan your insurance card or your insurance information and supply us with a few answers to some questions about your coverage. The waiver period is very important because once you're outside of it, there's no chance that you can waive. There are no exceptions offered. You can waive between the time frame of August 1st and September 21st with no additional cost to you. Once we review your insurance information, if your waiver is approved, we will take off that $1,300 charge each quarter that's put on your student account. but you have to have insurance in the United States in order to be enrolled at UCSD. And it has to meet a certain criteria. The criteria I'm going to go over in a couple of minutes, and then I will tell you about some other international offerings that you might want to consider. But the waiver period is on the Triton link from August 1st to September 21st. If you do the waiver during the fall quarter, then that'll waive you for the entire school year. It has to be renewed each academic year, so you are best to do it right before the fall quarter. If you file the waiver between September 22nd and 27th, there is a $50 late fee that is attached to your student account that you are financially responsible for. When you're doing it again in the fall, you're waiving the full academic year. If you miss the waiver period in the fall, it reopens before the winter quarter and then reopens before the spring if you do miss it. If you do waive the insurance that's required through the school, you may still access care through the student health clinic. You're what we refer to as a fee-for-service student. That means that you pay as you go. If you do have an outside insurance, you'll collect the receipt and then seek reimbursement through that outside insurance company. Something to keep in mind, if you do have an employer group offered insurance, they usually are not contracted with student health centers, so there may be a reduced reimbursement for you. So check with your insurance and see what's the best situation for you. We will provide itemized statements and receipts so you can seek reimbursement back from your insurance company on the outside, but we cannot bill any outside insurance companies for you. It's the student's responsibility to file the claim and to do it timely so you get reimbursed timely. We do not provide transportation to community providers, so if you do waive our insurance and you don't want to use the student health clinic, you'll have to find means of transportation to get out to a community provider to seek care. If you file a health fee waiver with your insurance and you lose that insurance, or you change your mind and you want to keep our school insurance, you can change your mind before a quarter starts and file a waiver cancellation form, and we'll enroll you into the insurance. There are no prorations of the insurance. It's always the same amount no matter when you join. So it is $1,300 each quarter this school year. If you do lose coverage, please come see us and we'll file what's called an exception to closed enrollment immediately and get you enrolled into the plan so you have coverage in the United States. When you file a health fee waiver, the last question on the questionnaire is asking you if you want a RAFT. RAFT stands for Reduced Access Fee for Tritons, and it's basically a prepaid access, and I like to call it a membership, to come into the student health clinic and receive scheduled appointments and in-house lab services at no additional cost. The RAFT costs you $65 per quarter, and it would cover any scheduled appointments or in-house lab services that you have at student health. They are unlimited, so you could come every day if you wanted to. Hopefully you wouldn't want to do that, but you could. And then you do have to still pay a copay to come in through our urgent care if you don't have a scheduled appointment. That's a $20 fee, and then $20 per x-ray if you do use our x-ray services. The pharmacy is not included. If we have to send your lab out to a specialty lab to have that reviewed, that's not covered. Immunizations are not covered, and optometry are not covered under the RAFT. And it is not an insurance. It's just a prepaid access to come into the student health clinic to see a doctor and get a recommendation made. The RAFT is $65 per quarter. That also works the same way as the SHIP. It's good for fall, winter, spring, and the spring does include the summertime. You have the option to enroll in the RAFT program at the end of the waiver application, and you can always go back into the waiver application and add it later if you forget at the first time you file the waiver. RAFT is not an insurance, so if you have to leave the student health clinic, there isn't any coverage that will go with you to another facility. It's just a prepaid amount that you can access the student health clinic with, and it doesn't replace any ongoing care that you've had with a primary care physician or a specialist on the outside of the student health clinic. It's the student's responsibility to seek reimbursement from their own insurance if they have any costs that are coming out of their pocket. We have flu vaccine clinics available each year. And Annie, one of my colleagues here, will go over that with you. If you do stay on the student health insurance plan, those flu clinics and immunizations are free to ship students. The tuberculosis screening requirement, the deadline is July 15th. We do offer over-the-counter items through our student health pharmacy, such as thermometers, cough syrup, toothbrushes, cough drops. You can come and purchase those, and they are at about a third of what the pharmacy outside would charge. It's always best when you're calling an after-hours nurse. If she asks you if you have a fever, if you have a thermometer, you can tell her if you have a fever or not. We accept credit card payments, or we'll transfer the balance over to your bursar account through the student account where you can pay it later. It's your responsibility to know what's required as your enrollment into UCSD. So make sure that you're looking at your checklist or checking with your student advisory, and they will assist you with knowing time frames and finding out what might be due at a certain time. For more information from us, you can access our website at studenthealth.ucsd.edu, or you can access the Office of the President website at ucop.edu. And then you could call us. Our phone number is there for you, or you can email questions. If you don't think of it now, please email us later. We'll be glad to answer you. Or when you come on campus, stop by our Student Health Center, where the insurance department is at the north end of the building. For the international students and students that would like to waive out of the insurance requirement, I know it's a small font, but this is the criteria that must be met by the insurance company in order for you to waive out of our school insurance. Take a look at that and see if your insurance meets our requirements, and if it does, then you want to file that health fee waiver starting August 1st. And then for our international students, I do have 3 plans that we have approved in the past that are website-based offerings. You can certainly contact any of these 3 insurance companies and purchase a plan from them and then file the health fee waiver. You do have to have coverage from these plans for the duration of the school year if you do plan on waiving. And I strongly encourage you to take a look at what they cover so you know what you're getting involved into. And if you do have questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Annie Horton. I'm the nursing supervisor, and I oversee all of the incoming health requirements for undergraduate and graduate students. And I'm here to talk to you about those things to help you with this process. So just starting off with general information, the incoming requirements include tuberculosis, screening, and potentially testing, and required immunizations. We do this to protect both yourself and the UCSD campus community. This is some general information. All of this process occurs through the Student Health Services portal. This is irrespective of insurance status. All students are required to do this and have access once you have your student ID number and an active UCSD email address. The email address is relevant because this is how we would communicate with you, so you are alerted to the fact that there is a message there from my staff when you start submitting your required documents. And so the way to access that is the shs.ucsd.edu. And on there is all sorts of forms and information regarding the health services, and specifically at the beginning of the page is tuberculosis requirement and immunization requirement. It's really helpful if you do include your cell phone number carrier if you are in the US. Otherwise that portion is not relevant. For the upload, you can, if you are having difficulty with the upload, there is also a fax number that faxes your documents to a secure fax line, which is housed in our medical records department, and that fax number is there. Clearance can take 5 to 10 days after we receive these forms. So it's really important to get onto these requirements early. It might be that you are missing required vaccines or are required to do additional tuberculosis testing, and that sometimes can take a period of time. So it's very important to get those things started early. We are also, as a health service, transitioning to a new electronic medical record. Failure to meet deadlines will actually cause a hold to go on your account. And because we are transitioning, we can't guarantee timely lifting of those holds. So that's doubly important in terms of getting these documents in early. If you're coming from a country that does not have access to specific vaccines or blood tests, then it does say here until November 1st, and in fact that is your deadline as a graduate student. Our undergraduates have an earlier deadline, but our graduate students, as a graduate, you have longer to meet these requirements. But again, we would ask that you get these in as soon as you are able to do that. There are many ways to ask us questions,
and the best way of doing that really is going through your student portal and clicking on Ask
a Nurse.
Please don't email us any information, because this is not a secure way of sending health-based information, and we have very strict privacy laws here in the US, so we can't respond by email. You can email us through our website if you have technical issues, so that you're having difficulty with uploading, and we can help you there, but we can't respond to health information that way. We can't confirm receipt of your documents, so please don't message us asking if we've received them. There is a way of checking your status, and that is going through that student health portal link and clicking on the Immunization TV upload tab, and it will show you where you are in terms of your status, whether you're compliant or not. Given that it takes my staff 5 to 10 days to get that information, and please be patient with us. We work as hard as we can to get all the required components into the system. And you can help us by entering vaccinations. So with immunization, you're both required to upload records, but you also need to enter those dates online, and that is probably the one thing that most students fail to do, and we send multiple messages. So regardless of whether you've uploaded those records or not, you will be deemed as non-compliant if you haven't entered those vaccine dates online. And again, if you can't access a particular vaccine or blood test in your country, you are welcome to come in to Student Health Services to have us help you with that. So the first compliance I want to reference is the tuberculosis requirement, and again, deadline November 1st, 2019. There is an online questionnaire. If we could go to the next slide, please. So going in through your portal and clicking on immunisation requirement and click on TV screen questionnaire, and this is the questionnaire that you will see in front of you. So you're required to answer every one of these questions. And for all foreign-born students, apart from those coming from Canada, Australia, Western Europe, will be required to go on and do further tuberculosis testing, simply because your country likely has a higher incidence of tuberculosis in its community than the US. So you can work your way through those questions and acknowledge and submit that. Once you have submitted that, you will be required to do a form. And if we could go on to the next slide. And this is the form here. Sorry about it being small, but if you're from a country and you received a BCG vaccine as a child, and you can tell if you've received this by you will have a small indentation in one of your upper arms, then the most accurate form of tuberculosis testing, if you can access it in your country, is called an IGRA or a quantiferon gold or a T-spot test, and that is a blood test, and you'll be given the result of that. This form you take to your primary care provider, physician, medical clinic,
to have a professional fill in and sign this form. Signing that form is very important. If you're unable to access the blood test, a tuberculosis skin test is fine, but all details need to be there. So you need to have the date placed, the date read, and the size, and whether that has been interpreted as negative or positive. So it's important that your healthcare professional reads that portion as to what is deemed positive or negative. If either of those two tests are positive, then you will be required to have a chest x-ray. In some countries, it's difficult accessing either of those first two tests, so we will accept a chest x-ray as well. The chest x-ray result and date must be accompanied by the chest x-ray report and interpreted into English. That's very, very important. Sometimes testing is done in other countries, and we may require you to have more testing depending on what that report says, so that must accompany. If you've submitted all of this documentation and you're still seeing that you are non-compliant, please check your messages in the Student Health Portal, because we will be sending you information about what to do next. We see that many students, we can tell if you've read your message or not, and we see many students have not gone back to read that message. And I suspect it's an issue in some countries because our email system is on a Google platform, and so that's challenging for people in some countries. What I would suggest is going through our website, Student Health Services website, and accessing this portal on a regular basis to see if there's a message there, and then we can support you to take the next step to get compliant. A very small number of students will be asked to do tuberculosis sputum testing if there's an abnormality that we are concerned about, but most students do not. Could we just go back a couple of slides? Yes, I just want to make sure that I've covered everything. So again, you can upload any of these documents through our portal. You can fax them. Medical records, that is only for technical questions. For example, you can't upload your file, you can't access your Student Health Portal. Yeah, that's perfect, thank you. So the immunisation requirements, the deadline is also November 1st, and the requirements for immunisation include a lot of more specifics, and the form that you can link to on the Graduate Division website, on your international website, and on our on the Student Health Services website. This is the form that you can use to put all of that information on, and I would suggest that you use this form because it guides you as to how to achieve compliance. You can also choose to upload existing records, but they must be in English. So the first required vaccine is Tdap, which is tetanus, diphtheria and pertussis. This is not TD, which is tetanus and diphtheria, nor is it DTaP, which is the childhood version of this vaccine. Many countries outside the US do not have access to this vaccine, so this may be a vaccine that you need to get when you come to the US. We do offer it in our flu clinics that run through the fourth quarter, most of them being in October before the deadline, and we offer it alongside the flu vaccine, so you can just walk in. Those dates will be posted as soon as they're set on our website. You can walk in and receive both flu and Tdap, or just Tdap. And that information will be uploaded into your Student Health Services chart record, and will make you automatically compliant, so you don't have to resubmit anything. The next vaccine is measles, mumps and rubella. We're required to have had 2 doses of those, with the first dose being on or after your first birthday. If that first dose was received before you turned 1, you will need to either have a blood test to ensure immunity, or to have a 3rd dose of that vaccine. The next compliance is varicella or chickenpox vaccine, and again you must have 2 doses of this, with the first being on or after the first birthday If the first dose was given too early by your physician, then you may need to have a third dose, or you can have a blood test to prove immunity. If you had chickenpox as a child, you must obtain a blood test to prove immunity. Meningococcal vaccine is only required for students under the age of 22. So as soon as you turn 22, you no longer are required to have this vaccine. This refers to the MCV4 meningococcal vaccine or MPSV4, and we get many questions about this. It's MPSV4 is often given in other countries outside the US, and that is absolutely acceptable as a vaccine. In some countries, these vaccines are given in childhood. We require a booster dose is given on or after the 16th birthday. This vaccine only lasts for approximately 5 years, so we want coverage through college years if you are of a younger age. And we do ask that this form is signed.
Great. Great. Thank you so much, Jill and Annie, for that presentation. As I mentioned, we will be opening up for questions pretty soon. But before we do that, I just wanted to go over some important deadlines and reminders that are coming up. This is a reminder to all of our international students, if you have not done so already, if you have accepted your admission to UC San Diego, go ahead and begin your application for your visa documents by going to the iPortal, iportal.ucsd.edu. This is not to be confused with the health portal that Annie was talking about earlier. Different portal to request your visa documents. So please go ahead and do that. You should all have access. But if you don't, go ahead and contact our office, the International Students and Programs Office. Our next webinar coming up is on May 21st, and we are going to be focusing that webinar on graduate student funding. After that, next coming deadline, September 10th and 11th, be aware is when the new graduate student orientation is going to be occurring. More details will be sent out to you from the graduate division about that orientation. September 22nd is when the International Students and Programs Office is going to be hosting our International Student Welcome Fest. More information to come soon and on our website there at iorientation.ucsd.edu. And finally, as Annie mentioned, the tuberculosis and vaccination information is due by your student health portal by November 1st. You can go ahead and visit their website to log in and provide that information. Finally, here is a full list of our upcoming webinars. Again, as I mentioned, on May 21st, we're going to be focusing on graduate student funding. We'll be bringing in staff from the graduate division to answer specific questions about that. May 22nd, we will be focusing on campus safety. Members of the UC San Diego Police Department will be there to help answer questions about campus safety and community safety here. June 4th, our webinar will be focusing on teaching assistantships, or TAships, and TOEFL requirements. We'll be having staff from the Teaching and Learning Commons on hand to answer questions there. June 25th, we will have a webinar about graduate student life and how to get involved on campus. And then finally, on July 10th, our final pre-arrival webinar will be focusing on travel preparation as an international student, how to get all your documents in order to enter the US as a student in F1 or J1 status. If you have any questions at all about your international student status as a new student, please visit our website, iNewStudent.ucsd.edu. You can always contact us via the e-form at icontact.ucsd.edu. We respond within a few days to incoming queries. You can also always give us a call. Our phone number is listed there, and we'll respond to you as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and open it up to questions. As I mentioned, we're going to be answering or asking rather certain questions out loud so that the audience members can all benefit. And we'll go around and pass around the microphone to make sure that we can answer your question. Just 1 second here. All right, so we have two. Oh, do I need to get my TV screen? So the first question we have here from an international student is, do I need to get my TB screening test done at UCSD only, or can I get it done in my home country?
You can get, we would prefer that this testing is done prior to coming on campus to UCSD. So absolutely go ahead and get that done in your country. Thank you.
We have a question about certain technical issues once logged into the student health portal, and have Annie answer that question as well.
So our IT department does regular downloads once students have accepted positions here at UCSD. So the fact that you can't access that probably reflects that you haven't been the download yet. So it's just a matter of time. So I know that they have started to do those downloads, so I'm sure that you will be able to access that very soon. You can go onto our website and download both forms and start the process while that issue is being resolved. This is a question regarding deadlines for TB assessment and immunization. It says different deadlines on the forms, and you're absolutely right. Those deadlines are for the undergraduate population. The graduate population have November 1st as their deadline. The next question is, what should I do if I don't have the chickenpox vaccine? What you can do if you've had the chickenpox disease, you can go ahead and have a blood test called a titer, and that will tell you whether you have immunity or not. If you don't have immunity, then you go to your healthcare provider. If they have the varicella vaccine and receive 2 vaccines 28 days apart, if you are not able to access that vaccine in your country, then I would suggest that you get that done in the full quarter before November 1st.
Okay, any other questions related to either health insurance or the vaccination requirements?
We have a question there regarding any health-related requirements applying to a spouse, not as far as UCSD goes.
Okay, there's a question about if someone can confirm GRAD deadlines. It's not clear the GRAD deadlines for immunizations, but if that is the case, then it's November 1st for all graduate students to submit their required immunization documentation. It's November 1st.
Does it apply to family members can get coverage as well? Yes.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. Can and should my spouse apply to the health insurance? If you do keep the student health insurance plan through the school,
they do offer dependent coverage. You can purchase that. It is about
an additional $1,100
per
per
person.
person.
So
That it would be, the eligible members would be a spouse
and
and
children.
children.
You
You do have to bring over some documents that confirm your marriage.
So they will need a certificate of marriage, but we do
You
offer
offer it to the dependents, and it is again on a quarter-to-quarter basis.
So if you want your spouse or your dependent to have the health insurance coverage, you would want to contact our health plan brokerage prior to the start of the quarter so you maximize your benefit. And we can assist you with that in the insurance department. The information is also on our studenthealth.ucsd.edu website. Your financial support letter indicates that the health insurance fee is included in the funding. Does this include any support for families? No. It's only you. You are the student, and that's what that letter pertains to. Thank you.
We have a question here regarding if I do not finish my vaccinations during the time of my country, can I have my last doses at UCSD? And the answer is yes. If you have ship insurance, there will be no charge for those vaccines. If you to have draft or service without insurance, then there will be a cost for those vaccines. The next question is, do we have the possibility of completing these forms during the full semester? You do have the possibility of doing that. We would prefer where you can to have these completed before coming onto campus. We do have nurses clinic, which you can make an appointment and see one of our registered nurses to support you with those forms and any vaccines or TB testing outstanding. Yes, you can do the TB assessment at Student Health Services. Now, the assessment questions are what you do online. The TB testing is what you would do through us if needed.
This is an insurance question. Can anybody get ship waived for RAFT? No. RAFT is not an insurance. Again, it's a prepaid membership to come into the student health clinic. It only pays for scheduled appointments and in-house lab services. So you have to have a good insurance that we can file claims with in the United States in order to waive the ship requirement to get the RAFT. The RAFT is just an offering that we give to students who want to access care here on campus. If you waive the insurance, your insurance works outside of the campus. And if you pick up the RAFT, that just allows you to come in for scheduled appointments and in-house lab services. So no, you cannot waive the ship for the RAFT.
A lot of students coming in to get their TB test, like everything else they get to campus, or do most?
Majority get it done before. Yeah, majority get it. That's
International students are very conscious about getting everything done and just the sort of doing visas and all of the very
This is a tuberculosis question. Is the TB skin test mandatory as a first step? If I recently took a chest x-ray exam, could I use it? The chest x-ray needs to be recent, so it needs to be 1 year or more recent. So it depends how long ago, but we would accept a chest x-ray exam as a way of clearing your tuberculosis requirement. The skin test and the blood test is the skin test or the blood test is a preferred step, but if you have a chest x-ray, it's we generally say 1st of September from last year, 2018, to 1st of September 2019. That is when you would need to have had that chest x-ray in that time frame.
Ask the first question. He's always asked the first question. Probably just about if students do receive a hold. I mean, I never want to talk about that really. Once I've exhausted all, please get this done first, but I can talk about
Just one thing I wanted to also mention was if you fail to get your immunisation and TB clearance done before November 1st, you will have a hold placed, and it's an enrolment hold. So what it would prevent is enrolment in the winter quarter. So it's really good to avoid that being done because it puts a lot of pressure on both yourself and my staff. And there is the potential of missing classes that you wish to enrol in. So it's
really important to get
that done.
If you're running up to your deadline, just get as much information as you can. Communicate with us if you're having issues. We help you those deadlines. And if you do receive an enrolment hold, as soon as we clear you,
we can lift that hold very, very quickly. So it's absolutely
preferable to avoid that. Last year we had
a lot of holds go on, and it was stressful for everybody involved. So it's a real advantage to get all of this work done to avoid having a hold placed on your account.
And all the office visits are free, so they can come into nurses' clinic or primary health care free of charge, and only pay a $20 copay going into urgent care as well. So it's and for in-house labs, it's free. And, not necessarily.
I think it
I think
benefits
it's
anybody.
great. I think it's really good value for money. You have one visit, you've paid for it.
One visit is $100 in our clinic. So
It's a
certainly
real.
outweighs the cost.
Do you think that's clear?
That's something that we I could certainly remind them of.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yvette. This is Jill. I just wanted to clarify on the raft offering, the reduced access fee for Triton. We offer that basically for peace of mind for the student and for their family member, that you have access to come onto our campus and be seen at our student health clinic by paying a $65 per quarter fee. You don't have to pay anything additional for the visit because it's scheduled, or if you have any lab services that we don't have to send out, you're not paying anything additionally for that. One office visit in our student health center as a fee-for-service student can range from $69 to $99. So if you're paying a quarterly fee of $65 and you come into our clinic for one visit, that has paid for itself. So something to keep in mind. And again, if you have questions about that, we're glad to answer them. But I just wanted to clarify that it's the peace of mind knowing that you have access and a resource here on campus. Thank you.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of the last couple of minutes here. If there are any final questions, please go ahead and ask those now so we can answer them. If not, then please, of course, feel free to follow up with any of our offices by phone or email that we went over in the webinar. As I mentioned, this webinar will be recorded, or has been recorded, I should say. So you are welcome to come back and view this at any point, review any of the information or the slides. It will be sent out via a link, via email to all of you, so that you can access this at your own leisure, at your own time. That will be sent out to you very soon. Any final questions, go ahead and ask those now. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping up. Okay, if there are no final questions, we're going to go ahead and close the webinar. Thank you all very much for taking the time to be with us today. We hope this was useful, and we will see you again in May for our next pre-arrival webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. That was great.